Let me ask you something important. Why does it feel like tech is everywhere, but the money always seems to land in the same hands? AI is booming, software runs the world, tech companies dominate the economy, yet most people are still stuck trading time for money. Today, I'm going to break down how money actually flows in tech, the skills that pay, the traps to avoid, and how everyday people are positioning themselves right now. This isn't theory, this is modern money. Tech isn't just an industry, it's infrastructure. Every business, finance, healthcare, music, real estate, retail runs on software. And whoever builds, controls, or optimizes that software captures value. That's why tech salaries are higher. That's why tech companies scale faster. And that's why learning tech skills today is like learning electricity in the early 1900s. But here's the part most people miss. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to work at Google. And you don't need to invent the next app. You just need to understand where demand meets leverage. There are only 3 real ways people make money in tech. First, selling skills. Second, owning digital assets. Third, building systems that scale. Let's break these down. Before we start, hi, my name is Jaylen Brooks with Modern Money, and I would like to thank you for stopping by to build wealth with us. If you find value here, please help us by simply clicking the like and subscribe button. And before we start, know that one step in the right direction can change the rest of your life. Today, we will uncover how to make money in tech. This is a very profitable field, and I will share some ways to increase your wealth. This is the fastest entry point. High demand tech skills include software development, data analysis, cybersecurity, cloud engineering, AI tools, and automation, UX, and product design. Here's the key. You don't get paid for effort. You get paid for impact and scarcity. Companies pay more when the skill saves time, makes money, or reduces risk. That's why someone who knows how to automate workflows with AI can earn more than someone with years of experience doing things manually. Modern money rewards leverage, not loyalty. This is where things get interesting. You no longer need to code to make money in tech. People are using AI tools and no-coding platforms, automation software, to build digital products, agencies, content systems, marketing funnels. One person can now do the work of 10. That's not hype, that's leverage. The winners aren't the ones who fear AI, they're the ones who use it first. If you can combine basic understanding of tech and can fix real business problems and automation, you become extremely valuable.
Amazon CEO Andy Jassy says artificial intelligence will lead to a reduction of its corporate workforce eventually over the next few years. He wrote in a memo to employees that they should figure out, in his words, how to get more done with scrappier teams. That's nice. Joining us now, former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang. It's a daunting future we have, Mr. Yang, obviously, and you've been. I said I was at was it a book party that I attended for you?
A book event.
6 years ago, talking about this on the horizon and the need for maybe even back then universal basic income. I guess at this point you're thinking, wow, it's accelerating faster than you even thought.
Yeah, it's here even faster than I'd imagined back in 2019 and 2020. And I talked to CEOs who are replacing thousands of customer service workers with AI, entire design departments, even coders are being supplanted. And Becky and I were just talking about how we used to tell our kids, hey, if you major in computer science, you'll be good to go. And now those graduates are having a hard time finding jobs. It's starting to appear in the numbers for recent college graduates and entry-level white-collar work opinion. And the most common job in 29 states is still being a truck driver. You have robot trucks just now hitting the highways.
They'll be gone.
Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, said, look, we're going to automate away a lot of the entry-level white-collar jobs. And he's right, because I talked to executives at these companies who are doing exactly what Andy Jassy is talking about at Amazon, looking around saying, hey, guys, instead of hiring a bunch of 22-year-olds, maybe we should have AI do that work. So I fear for the next generation, because all of the experience that maybe we got in our 20s and 30s, there might not be that kind of ladder available to them.
Look, Andy Jassy said that he wants employees to kind of take advantage and learn how to use AI, learn how to do their jobs better, maybe make things easier. Maybe it takes care of some of the grunt level work you don't like doing, but it allows you to have more space and room to do things creatively. Should we be afraid of that?
Well, what this means in real life, Becky, is you have a department of 6 people, let's say coders or designers, and then you end up eliminating 4 or 5 of them, and then there's one designer coder empowered by AI. So there's going to be a beneficiary in the organization, but you're just not going to need as many people in that department, and that's going to play out over and over again.
This is where real wealth gets built. Tech businesses scale because they're not limited by hours. Think SaaS tools, digital platforms, subscription models, online education, marketplaces. The goal isn't to work harder. The goal is to build something once that works for you repeatedly. Modern money favors systems over hustle, ownership over wages, distribution over perfection, and the internet is the greatest distribution machine ever created. Here's the mistake that keeps people stuck: waiting to feel ready. Tech moves fast. The market doesn't reward hesitation. You don't need mastery to start. You need momentum. Learn just enough. Apply immediately. Improve in public. That's how people win. Here's a simple framework. Step 1, pick one tech lane. Step 2, learn from real-world use cases, not theory. Step 3, build something small. Step 4, share it. Step 5, repeat. Money follows clarity and consistency. Here's something most people are still struggling to accept. Degrees are slowing down and tech is speeding up. By the time a 4-year degree is finished, the tools have already changed. But tech skills update in real time. Companies don't ask, where did you go to school? They ask, can you build this? Can you fix this? Can you automate this? That's why self-taught developers, analysts, and AI operators are landing 6-figure roles. Because results beat resumes. And this is the real shift. The fastest money in tech isn't in knowing everything. It's in knowing just enough to solve one expensive problem. Businesses will always pay to save time, reduce costs, and increase revenue. If your skill touches one of those 3, you're valuable immediately. This is also why freelancers and consultants are winning right now. They don't wait for permission. They don't need promotion. They solve a problem, send an invoice, and move on. Modern money doesn't reward credentials, it rewards execution. And the earlier you accept that, the faster you move. So if you've been waiting and thinking that you're behind or feeling like tech is too late, you're wrong. The barrier to entry has never been lower, but the reward for action has never been higher. And the people who understand this in the next 12 months will be in a completely different financial position 5 years from now. It is important to understand assets and learn financial systems by adapting early. You don't need to be rich, you need to be informed because the rules are changing. Wealth is not how much cash you hold. Look at how jobs are shifting and how challenging it is becoming.
Welcome back. Artificial intelligence is one of the top 5 reasons behind job losses this year. That's according to career transition service firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. And a new article in the Wall Street Journal that caught my eye details how young, educated Americans are struggling to break into the workforce and are some of the earliest victims of this technological revolution. Its co-author, Lindsay Ellis, joins me here now. Lindsay, it's great to have you in the Conversation Corner. Yeah. Thanks so much. I want to tie 2 things together here because there is an artificial intelligence story that is driving stock market gains, higher productivity. It is possibly insulating a lot of big companies from tariffs, at least so far. That's the high side of this story. But you and others at the Wall Street Journal detected a hard job market, a surprisingly hard job market for college grads. Walk us through that.
Yeah, and what's especially fascinating is that some of the industries where productivity has increased the most are seeing the softest demand for new graduates, connecting those 2 issues. Demand has fallen, we've found, in a variety of sectors. Yes, tech, but also marketing roles, traditional business back-end roles. Chief executives have told us in each of those cases, or recruiters or investors, that new graduate work can be pretty easily offloaded to artificial intelligence, and that they're making decisions about whether to hire someone new or replace someone who left, and in many cases are leaning on that technology instead of extending an offer.
I have heard that if you are someone in the communication space, marketing, things like that, it's very fraught out there. You mentioned the article, information, finance, insurance, technical services. And let's just break it down, folks, on the graphic level. Bachelor's degree or higher, 2.7% unemployment rate. Overall unemployment rate, 4.2%. So this is filtering through those who are looking for new jobs.
Yes, and so for young professionals with a bachelor's degree, in that 22 to 27 age range, the Burning Glass Institute really dug into their unemployment rate and found that, the cohort who had a bachelor's, who were in that 20-something group, their unemployment rate had risen the fastest over the last few years, faster than people with associate's degrees, faster than people with just a high school diploma. So it's these individuals who have college degrees, maybe haven't found a job that requires one. Their unemployment rate is
College graduate. What are your options?
It's a great question. So the young professionals who I'm talking to, the people who hire them, the advice that keeps bubbling up in these conversations is to focus on the types of positions that really value person-to-person connection. One young woman who I talked to a couple months ago, she was laid off from a position, a back-end, HR payroll job, and now in her new role, she's in her new job search, she's looking for a position that she thinks would be less susceptible for automation, something that requires either a strategic bend or kind of face-to-face in-person communication, client-facing roles, to try and be less exposed to the technology.
But there's a numbers game here. There simply aren't that large a volume of those kind of interactive face-to-face jobs as compared to the back-end support ones that are being moved out, if not erased entirely.
If this video made you think differently about money, subscribe to Modern Money. We drop weekly videos on credit, business, income, and wealth building, so you can stop guessing and start moving with confidence. And comment below, what's the one thing about money no one ever explained to you? If this video helped you see tech differently, you're already ahead. But awareness without action changes nothing. So here's your move. Subscribe for weekly breakdowns on modern money, tech, and leverage. Like this video so it reaches people who need it. And comment below, I'm building. Because the future doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the ones who started early. This is Modern Money. I'm Jaylen Brooks. And now you know the playbook. Please remember, one moment of effort becomes a lifetime of change. Look,